everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. I've got a double review for you, and the beers up for review are these two here. These are brand new into Tesco's. This is called Palm Beach from Brewdog. This is a Pina Colada New England IPA. I love New England IPAs and I love Pina Colada drinks and flavours. Will they go together? Who knows? It's a 6.5% beer in a 440 can. Really cool kind of summertime artwork. Reminds me of Florida, this. £3.50 this was on the Tesco shelf. And then we have this. This is Arcade Made, a double dry hopped double IPA. This is 8% in a 440 can, and this was £4. We don't need to go into the Brewdog stuff, all that, we don't need to. But in terms of where their beer is, it's been a little bit below par for a little while. Only yesterday I reviewed the Black Heart Stout that went up against the Guinness. If you haven't seen that video, click back. It was a good beer. It was a really good beer. So I'm hoping, could this be the start of some better things for Brewdog? There's been a couple of false dawns out of Brewdog for me personally in terms of quality. But let's see. Let's just see. I like the fact that they've charged a little bit more for these. Normally the Brewdog beers are around about £3 a can, £2.50, £3 a can. And I often think, no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get good quality into a can on a supermarket shelf for £2.50, £3. So I like the price point of these first off. I'm hoping that the extra 50p to a pound that's been put on these cans has let Brewdog put a bit more quality in their beers, because we know they can do it. We know that I've had some great Brewdog beers in the past. Hold on, my light's just flashing. Let me just turn that up a level. I've had some great Brewdog beers in the past. I've also had some howlers, but we know they can brew. We know they can brew good beer when they want to. Right, let's not wait any longer. I've got my Lord Sleeper glass for this. Because this is 6.5%. This one, I'll go into this one first. Let's get the can open. This is, I should say, this is all part of a little drop that's hit Tesco's. There were 3 Brewdog beers, and then I've got the bag down there. We've got the receipt here actually. Was it 3 or 4 Northern Monk beers? 1, 2, 3. 3 Northern Monk beers. Yeah, a little hit. I'm struggling with this can. Yeah, little drop into Tesco's as of the March 2023. Let's get this into a glass then. But yeah, Tesco's, generally, the last few launches of craft beer in Tesco's, I don't think there's going to be much sediment in here at all, but I'll give it a swish anyway. They've seemed to sort of do a little drop, and then they've slowly fed a few in. So is this the start of a bigger craft beer drop for Tesco's? I don't know. But what have we got in the glass then? We've got a beautiful, hazy, slightly lighter than... It's kind of between amber, light amber and straw coloured beer. Looks good, semi-hazy. 1 finger white, fluffy head. A little bit of carbonation in there doing its thing, working its way up the side of the glass. But generally, that looks like a pretty decent New England IPA to me. Let's get our nose in, see what we get. I am picking up a nice malty pale malt aroma. But the thing dominating this beer, obviously, is the Pina Colada. But what I will say is, it kind of smells a bit cocktaily. And when I say that, it doesn't... It smells cocktaily, it smells fresh, it smells quite inviting, actually. Yeah, quite inviting. It smells quite inviting. Yeah. I was last in Florida. I've got family in America, so I spend a bit of time in America. But I was last in Florida. Geez, that must be 8 years ago, and I had a couple of Pina Coladas. And this is just taking me right back there. It smells lovely and creamy. Slight pale malt aroma and Pina Colada. Let's go in. Cheers, everybody. It's not terrible. A lot of the recent Brewdog adjunct based beers haven't been that great. It's super drinkable for 6.5%. My lord. Let's go sort of try and do top to bottom. It shouldn't take too long because the Pina Colada does dominate. It's ever so slightly sweet malty at the start. And then the coconut more than the pineapple really comes in from the Pina Colada. It never really gets sort of all that hoppy. Obviously, it's New England IPA. The hops are meant to dance. You never really get in huge, lovely hop flavours. The adjunct does dominate. But in terms of Brewdog adjuncts, it's a softer adjunct. It's not too bad. I mean, I've had worse beers from breweries that are regarded higher than this. That's for sure. Slightly sweet and malty at the start. Coconut mainly. There is a touch of that fresh pineapple in there that's quite nice towards the middle. The back end of the beer settles down a little bit. A nice creamy coconut at the back. Very low bitterness, but it's scarily drinkable for 6.5%. Is it my kind of beer? Not really, because as is very well known on this channel, I'm not a huge flavour of huge adjunct beers. But you look at the time of year they've released it, and this will stick around probably for a good 9 to 12 months in Tesco's. It's probably going to be one of their most popular beers for the summer. For a Brewdog beer, it's very unoffensive. The adjunct doesn't taste horribly artificial. It doesn't have that astringent bitterness that you get of a lot of these additions that are added into beer. It's got a great mouthfeel, super easy drinking. I think that'll do quite well for a Brewdog. I'm going to rate that a 3 out of 5. I don't mind that. It's just probably not 1,000,000% up my street. So, let's talk about the beer that I'm most excited about. Arcade made. Really cool kind of 80s can art. They've got a little sort of 8-bit Brewdog logo there. Both of these beers are brewed up in Ellen. Sometimes some of the Ohio brewed beers make it over onto our shores, but not this time. Let's get this can open. Then it feels nice to go pop. Yeah, let's go in. Come on, I really want this to be good. £4. There's a couple of good. I think the best supermarket double IPA is the Divine Faith from Northern Monk. Excuse me, I actually think that stands up against a lot of the kind of more craftier or small batch double IPAs. Can this hold light to it? Let's see. Let's see. Right, what have we got in the glass then? We've got a lovely light straw coloured beer. Same level of haziness as the other one, actually. Subtle carbonation in there, working its way up the side of the glass. We've got a 2-finger white fluffy foamy head. It looks like a double dry hopped double IPA. Looks pretty good. Let's go in for a nose, see what we get. This smells excellent. This smells really good. This smells really, really good. Really soft, juicy passion fruit. Mango, tangerine. All the sweet. It's definitely the sweeter end of the tropical spectrum. Fresh pineapple. Almost like this sort of like Del Monte pineapple chunks with a bit of that sweetness, fresh sweet pineapple. This smells good. This smells really good. I don't think I've been excited. I don't think I've been this excited for a long, long time. After smelling a Brewdog beer, this smells good. Come on, Brewdog, please. I want them to brew good beer. I don't. I do care about what's gone on, but ultimately, I'm a beer drinker. They're one of the biggest names. Their beers are everywhere. I want them to brew good beer. I do. Come on, please, Brewdog. Cheers, everybody. That's good. Oh. Slight touch of weird bitterness at the back. Right. The middle, the start, the beginning and the middle of this beer are fantastic. But that bitterness, there is a bitterness there again. And this does happen with slightly cheaper produced beers. And it's still there. And it's not a nice bitterness. It's almost like a chemically bitterness, an artificial bitterness. I'm a little bit disappointed. It's got a lovely malt character to this beer. It's lovely and malty to start with. And very quickly, that passion fruit, that mango, that pineapple, that tangerine, the lovely sweet tropical fruits come in. Now, I don't know if my palate's just adjusted to that, but the bitterness isn't there anywhere near as much as it was before. And it's not. It's, you know, you get sometimes you sometimes get like a grapefruity bitterness or a bit of an earthy bitterness off of these double dry hop IPAs. It's not like that. It's almost like a tongue curling chemically bitterness. But it wasn't there as much again. Come on, let's go in again. Picking up nice lemon note in this now. It's lemon sort of sherbet, sweet lemon. So it's lovely, sweet and malty to start with. Soft tropical fruits come in very, very quickly. I'm picking up like a citrusy lemon, lime, sherbety thing towards the back. And the back end does have a bit of a drying bitterness. But I think that maybe that was just my palate adjusting, maybe from a sweet beer to a more bitter beer. The bitterness isn't there anywhere near as much as it was before in the first taste. It's still there a little bit, and it's still slightly... It's like a drying bitterness, but it's almost got a bit of a... Like I say, it's something a little bit chemically in there that it's really difficult to put your finger on. But overall, that's still pretty good for Brewdog. For Brewdog. I'll put that caveat in there. It's pretty good for Brewdog. I think we've got so used to slating their beers because we kind of knew what was coming out. It was always going to be a slightly cheaper produced thing. There was always going to be something in there, much like this beer. You know, it's a New England IPA, but it's got Pina Colada in it. It's going to be a... There was another New England IPA, I believe, with Parma Violets in it. Then there was that Candy Kittens beer, amongst many, many others. But this is just a straight up, as described, double dry hops, double IPA. And they've done all right. I think they've probably used a bit of hop oil in here. I'd be surprised if it was all whole cones or pellets or anything like that. And to be honest, for a double IPA, for a craft double IPA, if I'm going to buy one, if I go on Trembling Madness's website, I'm going to expect to pay at least, nowadays, at least £5.50 to £5.50 for a decent, for like probably entry level, actually, an entry level craft, and it's going to be good. An entry level craft beer, an entry level craft double dry hopped IPA. So the fact they're knocking out this quality for £4, and that's something that Tesco's would have put on them. We need you to make a certain beer for £4 a can on the shelf. I actually think it's a pretty good effort, if I'm honest. Just that first, when it drops in the mouth, that malt character, sweet malt character, and straight in, you're into lovely, soft tropical notes with almost a creamy backbone to them. And I'm getting, my palate is getting much more used to that bitterness now. And I've gone on about it a little bit, but it is a sign of cheap beer. If you've ever done the Lidl Craft Beer Festival, nearly all the beers, or the Aldi Craft Beer Festival, or ever drunk cheaper kind of IPAs, you would find that horrible astringent bitterness in a lot of them. And that's because they're produced with hop oils. So yeah, the fact that they've put a double dry hopped IPA on the shelf for £4 of that quality, I think that's pretty good. How would I rate it? I'm going to give it another 3 out of 5. Is it a return to form for Brewdog and all the rest of it? You know, like everybody is hoping for. It's getting there. It's getting there. I would say that. I mean, I would happily drink the rest of both of these cans. I normally do these beer reviews and I tip a lot of the stuff away because otherwise my belly gets too big. But I would happily drink the rest of these cans downstairs with my family watching, probably, if I'm going to be honest, Love Island. Probably watching Love Island, drinking these. Yeah, I'll be quite happy with that, to be honest with you. Much more like it from Brewdog, I'll tell you that. There is always going to be that kind of novelty factor. They are commercial, much more than craft than what they were sort of 10 years ago. But yeah, I think a lot of craft beer drinkers will be quite satisfied with these beers, especially at the price points, considering the times we're in. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. Get in the comments. I highly recommend you pick these beers up. I really do. I think they're both kind of fun and enjoyable in their own way. This has got more quality than that one, but that one is still a very enjoyable drinking experience. Thanks very much, guys. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.